Happy New Year. This is Bill McAfee. I'm the president of Empire Title Company in Colorado Springs, Colorado. We're giving you your monthly real estate update from the Pikes Peak Multiple Listing System. For those of you that haven't seen this before, I do this, I apologize for what's going to happen because part of the time I don't even know what's going to happen. So anyway, we're giving you an update for the month of January. And just to let you know on this update, it says year to date, but I only have January of this year to compare with January of 12. So we're kind of going from that perspective. Some of the stuff is running averages, and I'll tell you on that. So here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to take you to a personal, a favorite neighborhood of mine, and we're going to call that Mr. McAfee's neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the city. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? I've always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in the neighborhood for you. Now, little boys and girls, let me tell you, I would change my shoes, but frankly, if I bend over, it's quite likely I'll pass out. I haven't even seen my feet in about 4.5 years. So, here we're going to go. We're going to start going through this, kids. We got a lot of stuff to be happy about. This is comparing January of this year to January of last year. You can see it's all positive, kids. If I was you, I'd go, yay, but I'm not you, so I won't. So here you go. Average price up, median price up. Residential units sold about 39%. Can you say 39%? Okay. We got inventory levels are down about 15.9. I'll explain that to you later. Kind of complicated. We got number of listings are down 7.2 and foreclosures are down dang near 25%. You know what? If I lost that much weight, I'd be down to about 300. Going on here, we have interest rates where it's still our historic lows. If you see that, we call that the finger. I don't really know why, but it is. If you look down here, this is where we're at. And if you were to give a sign on that to any buyer in today's market, it'd be that sign right there. Can you do the thumbs up? So here we go. Moving on. We have our active listings. This is on a 12-month running average. This is the number of homes that's available for sale. And boys and girls, if we look back, going from here on back, we can go back about 12 years to find out when it's this low. Now what's miraculous about this thing, here's the number of sales. So we were looking at the number of homes for sale, now we're looking at the number of sales. And notice it's going up. Up is a good thing, boys and girls, a very good thing. Going on to the next slide, we have our percentage of sales by sales price. This was for the month of January, even though it says year to date. Over here's our $1 million homes. That's where Mr. McAfee would like to live, but he probably doesn't. Over here is starting at this price range right there is about the $100,000 range. Mr. McAfee's still trying to get there. Looking through here, here's the $200,000 to $250,000 range. Notice the sweet spot is anywhere from $100,000 up to about $500,000. Okay? Shifting on down. Months of inventory. Now this is kind of complicated, but Mr. McAfee figured this one out. If you look in here, I take the number of sales that are happening for the previous 12-month period. I simply take the number of homes that are available for sale, and I put that into a ratio, and basically anything down in here that's under 6 months is phenomenal. That means how homes are selling right now, we don't have enough to cover the demand. Frankly, right here is the 250 to 300. This would normally be about 6 months. It's about 4.19. Now what I can say about that is it makes me happy. And it should you too. If you're a buyer in this market, one thing I want to caution you on, there's not enough inventory, there's not enough homes for sale to keep with the demand over the last 12 months. So if you're a buyer, anything under 250 and below, and frankly, in that 3 and 4, if you're going to buy, you need to get in there and buy. Remember those interest rates I showed you? Remember that? Remember what we said? Thumbs up. Okay? Moving on down. One thing I want to say, I'm going to back up just a little. This is the $1 million and above homes. Notice that we have about 41 months of inventory in there. What that means is normal would be around 12. So we have a lot more in that price range than what we should. So if you're in that price range, you better price that home right, because if you don't, it ain't going to sell. Moving on down here, if you're down in these price ranges, 250 and below, even up to 300, you might even have a little bit of leeway. And if you want to be greedy, like Mr. McAfee sometimes is, you may even get a little bit more. But be careful. Remember, hogs get fat. Wait, I said that backwards. Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. You're going to have to think about that. Moving on the months of inventory. If we look at our months of inventory right now in our MLS, I better look at my little slide here. We have about 3.77 months. If we looked in our inventory 6 months, and boys and girls, 6 months is right here. Now you don't have to be a genius to see the difference between that. 6 months is here, there's where we are. What that tells me is for the current demand, we don't have enough homes out there, especially in the low end. Going on on to the next, sales as a percentage of listings. What this says is if I have 10 homes for sale, how many of those will I sell each month? Well, right now we're at about, what, 22.6%, almost 23%. Now, the amazing thing, when I look back, I come all the way over here, the last time that we were selling that high of a percentage, let me tell you, I better look at my chart, make sure, but it was 6 of 06, June of 06. Can you say that? June of 06 was the last time we were selling that high of a percentage of our listings that were available. Wow. Because we're seeing these things, something's happening to our sales prices. Now, it depends on your price range, which we already showed you. The high price ranges still, we've got too much inventory. Low price ranges do phenomenal. But here's what I like to say. If you're in that 250 and below, maybe even the 3 to 5, we're starting to see this. Okay? Now that makes Mr. McAfee happy. And it should you too. Moving on, we got our median sales price. Now, for those of you that are snowboarders or skiers, I know Mr. McAfee has just got back from a tournament, won first place. You come on down this slide, you go back up, you go back up, you go again. Now here's what's amazing. Here's where our median price is on a running average. Bring that over. Last time we saw that kind of price was in 2008. Now, friends, let me tell you, I want to thank you for watching me. It's been a pleasure, and I'm glad you live in my neighborhood. One of the things I'd love for you to do is contact your local real estate agent, because this can be tricky. And if you're like Mr. McAfee, you want to do the best job you can, and you want to get the best price that you can, and if you're a seller, you need to know what price ranges that you can push that price. So here's what I like to say. I hope you come back to Mr. McAfee's neighborhood again. It's been a real pleasure to talk to you.